Hi everyone, welcome back to another day of notes. Today we're going to be doing our last day of notes for Algebra Unit 2A on absolute value equations. So let's go ahead and get started. Quick reminder that absolute values can only be positive. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and go through the steps on how to solve absolute value equations. So step one is that we are going to isolate the absolute value group using inverse properties. So just like we would isolate a variable, we're going to use those same properties to isolate the absolute value and get that by itself. Step two is the confusing one, so bear with me. We're going to split the absolute value into two equations. One will equal the positive and one will equal the negative if they equal a positive number. If they equal a negative, then we just say there's no solutions because an absolute value can't equal a negative. And three, we're just going to go ahead and solve those two equations we just split up, and we will most likely get two answers for these kind of equations. Okay, so let's go ahead and do example one. We have to solve the following equation. So we have -7 times the absolute value of x minus 14 equals 35. So we are going to try to get the absolute value of x minus 14 by itself. So we got to get rid of this -7. So to undo this -7 times the absolute value, we will divide both sides by -7. So we get the absolute value of x minus 14 equals -5. This is a problem though, because the absolute value, it can't equal a negative. An absolute value will always be positive. So this is not possible, which means when we get something like that where an absolute value equals a negative, it means that we have no solution. There is no variable we can put in for x that will make this a true statement. So we just stop there, write no solution. If we want it in Step Builder, we do the empty brace, and that's it. Okay? So now you guys are going to try this one on your own. Remember, you got to get the absolute value by itself. And we are going to move on to the next one. Example 2, solve the following equation. So this guy has a lot of things happening to the absolute value. We got 2 times the absolute value minus 8 equals 28. We are going to get this absolute value by itself first. So, just like SADMAG says, we are going to undo the addition or subtraction to the absolute value first. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So now I have 2 times the absolute value of 2x plus 3 equals 36. Now I can divide everything by 2 to get the absolute value by itself. So the absolute value of -2x plus 3 actually equals 18. Now that I have the absolute value by itself, and it's positive, I can split it. So I'm going to split this absolute value into two equations. The first one, I'm going to take what's inside the absolute value and make it equal to the positive number, so 18. So it just says -2x plus 3 equals 18. And I'm going to take what's inside the absolute value and set it equal to the negative number as well. -2x plus 3 equals -18. The reason we do two equations is because there are two possible numbers that -2x plus 3 can equal. It can equal 18 because the absolute value of 18 is 18, or it can equal -18 because the absolute value of -18 is also 18. That's why we split it into two. So now the third step is to solve each one. So here I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So now I have -2x equals 15. Divide both sides by -2. I get x equals -15 over 2. That is one possible solution. Over here, I can get another possible solution because I can subtract 3 from both sides. So I get -2x equals -21. I divide both sides by -2. So here on this side, I actually get x equals +21 over 2. Okay? Those are both my solutions because they are both possibilities for x that will work in this situation. Okay? Now you guys are going to do this last one on your own. For the last try on your own, you need to change this the 7 minus 4 to be a 7 plus 4. So it needs to be a positive. Change that to be an addition sign, not a subtraction. Otherwise, it will turn out weird. Okay? You guys are going to do those try on your own by yourself, and we will go over them next class. That's it. Bye.